Okay, so once again, welcome to the first episode of CaseyBuilds Live. Tonight we're going to do one of my absolute favorite sets. This one I built for the first time a few years ago. It came out right around my birthday, and shortly after my dad had come to visit, and we built it together for the first time. But I frequently like building sets and then taking them apart so I can build them again. And I haven't built this one again yet, and I've been missing having a nice car set out to look at. And so, like I said, this is one of my favorite sets. It is a Porsche 911 GT3 RS. And let's see if I could angle it for you here. That's the set we're going to be working on. The thing that I really like about this set a lot is that it has such attention to detail with the story of the way a Porsche actually gets built. The process, the order that you go through is the same as they do when they're actually building a real one, and it just feels like the Porsche attention to detail, which they are pretty famous for. Let's see if I can do this at a better spot that you can actually see as I open the box. I just feel like they must have had a hand in creating this. Not just had a hand, like they actively worked with LEGO to make this set such a great experience. So, set these in here. Right off the bat, the box is really cool. It's got all of these like old Porsches in it. Just lots of cool Porsche nerd stuff, in addition to all of the great LEGO stuff. Like most bigger sets, it's divided up into a bunch of different boxes. This is the manual for it, which was just a massive, beautiful manual. And since I'm sharing the instructions on the screen, you'll be able to see it as we go through. You can actually see the cover here matches what's already on the screen, and there's little bits in here about talking about the story of putting the things together and explaining it all. But it's a really cool build. But we're going to set this aside since we're using the digital instructions. And we're just going to jump right into box one here, if I can get it out without destroying everything. There we go. Okay. Sadly, you have to get your finger oils on the black, which is one of the worst things to do, because you can never really get rid of it again. Like I said, I like to take my sets apart and then rebuild them. So this one is already back in numbered bags, similar to the way where it was the first time. And looking at this now, I realize this set didn't come with a bunch of numbered bags. It just had bags by the boxes. And since I like to make it a little bit easier on myself when I'm putting it back together, if the set doesn't have numbered bags, I will actually go by page number. And this one is pages 1 through 67. So it'll be just a little bit easier and have fewer pieces to sift through as we're putting this all back together. So we'll set those out of the way. We'll dump these out here. All right. Humble beginnings. All right. So I'm going to flip over here and hopefully I'll still be able to see everything that people are saying. Yeah. Like Lex is saying, usually when I'm building sets like this with my dad... Oh, there's Brian. When I'm building sets like this with my dad, he will be sitting across from me and sorting all of the pieces as we open up new bags. And then, to use a cooking term, he does my mise en place. I think I said that right. Is that right? Mise en place? Mm-hmm. All right. Where he will also have a set of instructions out in front of him. And he will start... he'll sort them all, and then as we're going through the steps, he will prepare by each step. He'll grab the correct pieces and have them all laid out, so I can just crank through all of the different steps without having to hunt for things. So without him here, I'm gonna have to do that work myself.
I mean, I could, but I would flip the table.
That's Lex could help, but it's a little tight in here right now. No, Katie, I am absolutely not going to empty all the bags at once. That would be a disaster. This set, I don't think I mentioned that. This set has 2,700. Let's put this back up here. This set has 2,700 pieces. So, that's more than a few jigsaw puzzles. Yeah. Thank you for mentioning that, Michael. Okay, well, this is really exciting. Step 1, we're going to start small. I know that if Chris was doing... Chris, another friend who am I kidding? The only people that are watching right now are everybody who knows each other anyway. Yeah, when Chris does sets, he definitely sorts out all of his pieces ahead of time himself, and it's really some beautiful stuff. In the interest of not boring everyone too much, I'm going to skip that myself tonight and just jump into the building. I don't yet know, or rather I don't remember, what we're doing first here. If we were to go back in the instructions, it would explain it to us a little bit. Might as well read that. So, first box, the goal is going to be the first step in the construction of your 911 GT3 RS is to build the drivetrain, complete with dual clutch gearbox, paddle shifters, suspension, and the heart of the 911 GT3 RS, the 4.0 flat 6 engine. When you have completed all the steps in box 1, you'll be able to test out all the functions and see how they work. So, like I said, we're actually building a working dual clutch transmission here, which you'll know what that means if you're a car person, and if not, just know that it's a really cool transmission. How do I fit to window? There we go. Yeah, so once you complete this, why am I already doing something wrong? It looks like a 5, and yet there are 6. Oh, it's because it's a different font than the LEGO font. Silly me. They're using a special Porsche font in this book, so kind of looks like a 5, but it's actually a 6. Hi, Steve. Thanks for joining the party. I don't know if you have Nathan out watching this right now. I know he does enjoy his Legos as well, but it's probably past his bedtime at this point. Hey! Lots of people. Jacob. Hey, Jacob. How's it going? So I think I started talking about this and then distracted myself. Once you finish this, you're actually working a building dual clutch transmission, which means all of the gears happen sequentially, and there's actually... That's too technical. When we're done, you'll be able to open up the door on this thing, and there's paddle shifters inside of the thing, and you can actually click the paddle shifters around the steering wheel inside the set that will change the gears. It's pretty cool stuff. You'll see if you stick around that long. let's see here. Doing this on a black table might not have been the best idea.
You want me to go get you a tablecloth?
We'll make it work. It'll be fine. Okay. I think the next time I do this, right now I'm using my laptop all by itself. I think the next time I do this, I'll probably move my big monitor over here so that having just a little bit bigger of a screen, it'll be easier for me to see everything all at the same time. As it is, it's a little on the small side, but LASIK, don't fail me now. Side note, if any of you out there have ever thought about getting LASIK, it's really, really wonderful, and I fully recommend it. Okay, hopefully shortly here we'll have something a little bit more interesting to look at, and we'll start seeing what's happening here. There were definitely times when I was building this set the first time where I just had to go with it and trust that the right thing was eventually going to happen, because there were gears and parts and things coming and going in every single direction, and I had no idea looking at it what was going to happen, but it all came together. Let's see. By the way, it's kind of tough for me to see, like I said, everything that's going on all at once here. Just out of curiosity, how does the layout of everything look to everyone? Are you able to see everything you want to see? Is there stuff that you shouldn't be seeing? Is there anything I could do better? In this stream right now, I don't know if you guys know it, but you have a other streaming royalty. Taco Cub is actually a pretty prolific streamer. It's one of the few people that I've watched, so he knows his way around streaming. Also, Mecha Dragon over there, he was helping me kind of get everything dialed in, while Taco Cub streams quite a bit. Mecha Dragon watches quite a few streams, so I was having him give me some tips. That said, if this sucks, you shouldn't hold any of them responsible. Okay. Once we have a few more moving pieces here, I will try to hold it up and show you what's going on. Okay. Yeah, Mike Heaney, my dad there. He doing this the first time made it so that I was estimating, I don't think we're going to get all of this done tonight. That would be crazy. But I was sort of assuming that this would be about a 6-hour build based on previous experience, but definitely going at this rate without having him here sorting the pieces for me like he wishes he could be. I think it's going to take a little longer than that. So I fully expect this is going to be a multi-session stream. We're not going to go until, like, you know, the wee hours of the morning to get this done. Okay. Oops. See, I already made my first mistake. That one was supposed to be a different piece. And I put the wrong one. What are you? Oh. That guy was supposed to be this guy. Yeah. When we come back for the next part of this build, I'm definitely going to use my bigger monitor. Doing this on the laptop's kind of tough. Oh man, sorting is huge, and that's a great question, Christopher Bailey. Nice nickname, by the way. I'm sure that's real cryptic for the people out there who might want to figure out who you are. Yeah, I had spoken about this already when I started the stream. Normally, I definitely like having my pieces sorted prior to building. But in the interest of not boring people to death, I was just going to jump in and kind of make the best of it here. So, getting close to having something. Oh, also, I have Chris Bailey is another big Lego builder fan. He and I talk Lego quite a bit. And he has never built a Technic set before. And Technic is pretty much, I mean, who am I kidding? I have lots of Legos, and I don't not have one. But Technic are my favorite sets to build, aside from maybe the really cool big Star Wars sets. But I love the workings and the gearings and all that kind of stuff of Technic. At some point, right when I need to get up and stretch my legs, I'll grab my first Technic set, which is over there, and hold it up for the camera. Okay, starting to have something. It's got some sort of. This is going to be some kind of gear selector here. I don't know what it is, what it's going to be, but kind of have a differential going on down here. This gear selector stuff's starting to happen. We're a ways off, but there's some startings. Also, when you're putting together the Technic sets, when you're doing normal Lego sets, you generally want to get things nice and snug. If there's moving parts, you want to have them be just so. And with the Technic sets, that's even more important. If you, with all of the gears, if you really cinch it down too tight, if you put the gears on a little too tight, then it doesn't move as smoothly as it would as you would want it to. So it's just one of those things that after you build enough of them, you start to know what the right feel is. What's normal? Normal is probably any of the rest of these that don't have all of these pieces with holes in them. Okay. Also, one of my absolute least favorite things to do is put stickers on sets. And usually takes me an extra half an hour on any given bag to apply the stickers because I'm so meticulous about it, and it drives me nuts. Because it's so hard to get them perfect. And since I already have the stickers on, that takes out a lot of stress. However, now I need to see where the stickers actually go. I think I got this right. Hopefully I did, and I won't have to come back and move it around. There we are. So this looks like it is going to be the gear shifter. Not the gear shifter. This is going to be the transmission, the selector, the drive selector. So you can see in here, this actually will click and snap into place. On top, this is where there will be a shift knob, drive, neutral, reverse, and so it's going to go through, and as you choose, it will toggle and switch this back and forth to either engage drive or be in neutral where things can spin freely, or put it in reverse. So what are we talking about? I missed a Star Trek reference. Stickers are torture. Yes, they are. Oh, Andy. I mean fish sticks. Sorry, I gave up your actual name there. Lego Gloomhaven would be amazing. I don't even know what that would be, but that would be awesome. Yeah. Fishsticks is a friend that I play lots and lots of board games with, and there's this one called Gloomhaven that we've played, I'm going to say, probably close to a couple hundred hours together. Oh, incidentally, what username do you have on here? Steve Donovan. Yeah. Yeah, Steve actually was the one who sent me my first copy of Gloomhaven, because he too is somebody I go and play lots and lots of board games with. Anyway, my level of nerdery is not limited to one field. When showing things, put your hand. Oh, I should put them down. So you're saying if I'm showing things, I should go to this camera down here, and in about 15 seconds, you'll see what I'm talking about, and then I'll hopefully get a comment from Katie saying yes. Oh, I was going over here to show. Yep, I was going to the wrong spot. Oh, turn up the input volume. Let's try to put the mic over here. Sorry if I just made a lot of noise. Tell me in 15 seconds or so if the volume of my voice is better. Actually, at this point, when you hear this, tell me if the volume of my voice is better. Oh, way better. Great. No, everybody's probably talking about the position of the stuff that I'm building. Okay, everybody says yes. Not sure if that's yes for position or yes for voice. I'm sure you'll all tell me soon. Yeah, okay, so that's position. Okay, so just to go over this one more time, since apparently I was in the wrong spot, we have this is where this is where the shift lever was going to be. Drive, neutral, reverse. There's going to be something, basically a bar is going to go down through here, and when it goes down through, it's going to go into the middle of this thing. So when you put it in drive, it'll slide and engage this gear. If you put it in neutral, it'll be in the middle, it'll be free spinning. If you go into reverse, it'll be in this gear. So you can see all of these things are spinning, and that's one of the things that I really like about Technic sets.
Where your hands are is covered by the
Oh. Okay, well apparently I got it in a slightly better location, but oh, I can see it over on Lex's laptop. That's yeah. Yeah. Yep, I like Blaze's idea. Next time I'll have a tape area. There we go. Okay, so I need to be. That's easy enough for me to say. I'm gonna move my chair to make that easier. Thank you all for bearing with me as I figure this stuff out. Okay. Considering the age of some of our viewers, apparently. Hi there, Bo James. I think we're gonna keep the shirt on for right now. Assuming this goes well, I think maybe Death Star will be the next one, though. Thank you for the recommendation. So we have this is the bottom of the car here. This will be the shifter area right in the middle of the center console, and we'll just set that over there for now and keep building and see how far we get. Oh, I should check to see if people are texting me right now. There's no way I'm going to be able to see all those. Yeah, there's texts, but those are gonna have to wait for later. Bodie. You guys are all very funny. Okay, I'm gonna give my my nephew Bodie a shout out. He's one of the coolest little Lego builders I know. I look forward to perhaps someday getting to watch him stream something like this. Okay. I know Bodie has been really getting into F1 racing recently. Well, when they were having F1 racing. Everything's around the world stopping right now. Okay. Okay. Just getting solid snapping all together. There we are. Making progress. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh. Apparently I struck a nerve. Sorry, Allie. You're doing a great job heckling. All right. Yeah. I know a few other prolific Lego builders are out there too right now, and I'm sure it's absolutely driving people crazy that are serious Lego builders to watch and have me watch me not sort the pieces before beginning steps, but sacrifices must be made for our art. That is an excellent recommendation, Chris. You know what? With enough tape, I might actually be able to swing that. What's that?
Nothing.
Apparently the heckling comes from inside the house too. I love Bodie's enthusiasm, and I will do my best to make him happy. I know he would love to see a Death Star, so I think that'll be near future. See, unfortunately, Fish Dicks, there would be no way that I'd be able to pre-sort the literally hundreds of steps. I mean, I would need that gaming table that we've ordered. Yeah, that's a good idea. How many more pieces are there? Well, probably about 2,650. Also, AV Productions. I'm not sure who AV Productions is. Should I know who AV Productions is? Oh, I know who AV Productions is. Yeah. Incidentally, I am actually recording this right now with my GoPro and intend to post it as a time lapse, which is the camera that I was incorrectly going to when I was going to a alternate camera. So this will be posted eventually as a time lapse. So, assuming I did all this right, this should fit in nicely here. There we are. We're getting the aero plating on the bottom of the car, or perhaps the footwells or something. All right, and that's three of those. There you go. Oops. Yep. Just so everybody knows, LEGO is still shipping out orders right now. And if you're looking for something fun to do during the isolation time, I fully recommend ordering a set or two. If you don't know what set to start at, drop me a line and I'd be happy to help you pick one out. I happen to have tested quite a few. Yes. I did order Dom's charger, and according to the LEGO website, they're still trying to source them or something. I don't know. It's been pending for a long time. I've had other sets that I've ordered that have actually come after sets that I'd ordered after buying Dom's charger that have shown up now, and it's still just sitting there. Great question, AV Productions. I do have the only set. I've got a couple sets that have some of the new environmentally friendly ones. Basically, like the Lego trees are made out of plant instead of the old plastic that they've been making things out of, and feels like a normal Lego. It actually, I was skeptical, but it's working really well. The set that's in is the windmill, which the idea sets are probably my second favorite to Technic, because every month they have just wildly homemade creations. I'll talk about that later. We don't need to talk about that now. I should keep up with my chat here. Don't want people to think that I'm neglecting them. Maybe we'll get there. Sidewinder? Wait a minute. Somebody...
I posted it in chat.
Okay. That wasn't somebody I was expecting to see here tonight. Hello to you, Sidewinder. Ooh, good first Technic set. That's a great question. I'm going to have to think on that. I'm sure I'll be able to come up with an answer. It's just going to be hard for me to come up with at the moment. I can tell you what's not a good first Technic set. This one right here I got, and I was really excited about, because it's a Technic Top Gear combo set, and it was a rally car designed by the Top Gear folks, and it's using it's got a Bluetooth motor, so you connect your phone to the Legos, and then you can drive it around like an RC car. And I thought it was a little on the disappointing side. It was one of the It was surprisingly expensive, and when I was reading reviews after the fact, they had mentioned that really the reason why you get it is because it's one of the cheapest ways that you can get the motor, because it's there's new motors out now that are a little bit better, a little bit faster. Everything fine here? What did I do wrong? Did I miss something? I feel like I missed something. Yeah, this guy's supposed to go right there. Woo! Okay, well that's the beginning of the first bag. Not a whole lot to look at yet. We have the start of the shifter. Let's catch up here. Yeah, Bruner would hate it. Let's go to the next bag. Good stick joke there, Chris. Where was I putting my bag? There we go. Okay. Next bag coming out. One thing I am going to do, I'm not going to sort everything, but we're going to get some of the bigger pieces out of the way just because it makes it easier to search for the littler ones when you're not competing with all the big ones. Put those up here. Okay. Look at all those gears. Oh, this is exciting. Yep, this is a great set. Man, I love this set. Okay, so that was the last step we did. Now we're up to here. Okay, so this guy, whatever this is, we're going to set aside for a minute. I don't know where the best place to set this aside would be. Let's look at the video and...
Ariel says I should be honest too as he goes.
That would be fine with me. Okay, we can set that there. That would be too far. Yeah, let's just set this out of the way over here. That would be nice, but I also feel like that would be a whole lot of reading.
For me? Or for you?
Both.
I'm already reading then. Up to you. That way you wouldn't have to stop.
Well, I feel like I should be reading to interact with people anyway.
But you're still interacting with them. I'm just telling you what they're saying.
Let's try going this way a little bit longer. And I'll let you know if I feel like I should change it. Or somebody else. I don't know. I think we're fine. Thank you for the offer. For now. I can't see what that icon is that you just posted.
Dabbing.
Oh, okay.
Chris is a hosting man in the audience.
Okay. There we are. Some of these steps get tricky when you're working with these sorts of things because you have to kind of slip things into the smaller areas, the inner bits, and okay, maybe next time we'll work on getting Lex mic'd up as well.
You like your shirt?
Thanks, Brian. This is actually not an official Apple shirt, which is a little unusual for me because most of the time my wardrobe is entirely made of Apple shirts. This was a third-party created shirt that I found on a website, but I liked it so much that I went ahead and went for it. Okay. So that's now, I don't know if you saw me spinning it before, but adding this guy in here now, it can still spin, but it's quite a bit more resistance. Which we'll figure out what that means later. Also, when I was setting up this thing, fun fact for anybody else who ever goes to stream anything on YouTube, I had originally set this as a child-friendly stream, thinking, hey, Legos are something that anybody can enjoy, and I'm not going to be taking my shirt off, so why not? But apparently, if it's a kid-approved stream, then they turn off comments, which I think you all are seeing how important those are. So if any of you ever go to stream anything on YouTube and you want people to be able to talk at you while you do it, don't make it a kid stream. Yes, Cordy, we're talking about successful Apple products that changed the world. I don't think the Apple III qualifies as that. Oh, and that was the point I was going to... Thank you, Chris, for bringing me back on topic. That was the point that I was originally going to make, was I had not considered having you in the audience. So, not having this be child-friendly, I think, was the right choice. Maybe CaseyBuilds.tube. Okay. Oh, actually, let's see. MD Cordy, I actually have a framed artistic rendering of the Lisa in my office, which is pretty cool. So this gear, do the baby. Oh God. This gear is really interesting, and I can't tell you more about it other than it allows slip. So you can see I'm holding the axle tight here, and the gear will go around it, but it is there is a lot of resistance. So I think actually what these are for is so that, oh no, Taco Cub, that's unnecessary. Thank you though. This is so that the gear can actually slip and not ruin things. Okay. Not quite a clutch gear.
You're back behind the box.
Oh, thank you.
Keep your hands
Right here.
to the right of that skinny gray piece.
Yeah.
You're a little high.
I'm high?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Like, you're good on the camera that's facing your face, but for the close-up camera, where you're right now is okay.
Okay.
Maybe a little lower, but it's fine.
let me switch over to my thing here so I can see. Oh, I think this camera has been dipping down somewhat, which is part of the problem there. No. That should be better.
That is better. Much better. Perfect.
Okay. Yeah, with our shelter in place happening, one of the fun things that we've been doing is I've been teaching Lex how to play a little bit of piano, and she's been an excellent student. All right, so complicated step. We're gonna take this guy here. There's a little gazinta over here. There we are. A lot of complex things coming together. And these ones will lock it all down into place. There we go. There we go. Oh, I love the uke. Maybe once Lex becomes a fantastic virtuoso piano player, we'll conquer the uke next. Okay, we can turn the gears a little. So you can see this one right here is actually freely spinning and going through this area here, and is connected to these ones. So we don't really know what that's for yet, but spoiler alert, I think it might have something to do with the transmission. Whereas the drivetrain here, you can see spinning this down here. And you can see, so theoretically here's the engine's going, spinning this, and you can see the selector here will put this into a gear, and when it's in gear, you can see this one's spinning. When it's not in gear, when it's in neutral, it doesn't spin. Reverse, it spins the opposite direction. So we're getting some complicated, cool stuff going on here. Okay. Oh, Bodhi, that's so thoughtful. I do have a puzzle from your house downstairs that I haven't started putting together yet, but I'm very excited to do that. See, here we are in a tricky spot where this needs to be somewhere that it can't go. Perhaps I needed to push something. Oh, back on this step, there was a very important little arrow telling me to push this piece through. It's going to come through on this side, and I had forgotten to do that. There we go. Which means I can now go back to this step here and put this piece in. That wasn't going to go before. There we go. Much better. Ooh. One Lego set I wish existed. Now that's a great question. Actually, up until recently, after building these big car sets, I had always really wanted them to make a Nissan GT-R set, kind of similar in size and scale to this one, because I had one of those, and it was a great car, and I loved it. And then somebody smashed into it with a Prius and destroyed it. That said, I think I would still love to see a Nissan GT-R set come out. And for these big car sets, it would be an interesting enough build, because one of the things that's really cool about the GT-R is it has basically two drive shafts. It has the engine up front, which has a drive shaft that goes back to the rear gears, but that's where the transmission is. And because it's all-wheel drive, it has a second drive shaft going back up to the front to spin the front gears. So you could have a dual drive shaft thing to make it interesting. And I think you could do something that would be different enough from this that for LEGO nerds it would be fun, because you'd be doing something new, and for the car nerds who love doing the Technic sets, it would be really interesting. So I'm gonna say one of these 1/8 scale GTRs would be awesome. S2000 would be a lot of fun. I agree. And I think I'd be able to actually fit in the S2000 set about as well as I fit in a real actual sized S2000. Which is to say, not at all. That all-wheel drive, Chris, is what got us going to 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. That time we were out doing our little photo shoot. Yeah, Chris. Chris Bailey is quite the photographer. So when I had gotten my GTR, I asked him if he would go out and take pictures of it like one of his pretty French girls. And we drove down to Monterey, which is one of my favorite places to go take pictures of cars. And went to a 17-mile drive and took some pictures, and then worked our way back through Santa Cruz and took some more pictures there, and it was a lovely day. Yeah, the launch control in the GTR never failed to get a reaction. Okay, got more gears coming. Lots of gears. And as you can see in the instructions, if they're big enough for you to see, you actually need to, some of these, they give you like a top-down bird's eye view of the axle and where this is supposed to go. And one of the only downsides to doing this with the digital instructions as opposed to the printed ones is when you're doing the printed instructions, you can literally hold it up to the book and say, okay, that's exactly in the right spot. When you're looking at the digital ones, you obviously can't do that because your screen's not the same size as a book. But usually pretty much everything in LEGO has specific measurements and patterns they follow. So if you're looking at that one that you're looking at on step 81 right now, you can see that there's should be a space of 1. So I could use this to make a space of 1 next to this little guy right next to it, and then just keep the gear going through. And so that's how far back that should be. And is this not the right gear? Oh, it's not the right gear. Let's pick this guy. Alright, this guy is supposed to be right here. It looks like some very tight clearances here. So there's, in addition to just having tons and tons of gears going all over the place, some of them are interesting because gears like these guys, you can see going through the center of it, it's like one of these. There's nothing, there's no posts or no teeth to grab onto. So on something like this, you can spin this fella and this one stays exactly in place. So a lot of the times with a lot of these more technical sets, you're going to have gears. You need to have a lot of gears, and there's only so much space. So you use things like this so that this rod can be working on something, whereas this one's going someplace else and be completely unrelated to what that other one's doing. So very technical, hence Technic. Okay. I need to, especially when we're doing these tricky bits, sometimes I gotta look extra hard here. All right. This one's supposed to be right in the middle, and since this is a seven piece long one, we can go like this. Get it right smack dab. We got 3 on one side, 3 on the other. It's in the middle. Boom. Sorry, was I starting to bore you there, AV Productions? With my technical mumbo jumbo. Okay. Take these. Alright, this is going to get tricky because some of these can actually fall out, so we need to hold it such that they don't. And then... Oh! Hi, Mom! Thanks for stopping by. Alright, let's see where this one's supposed to go. Oops. See? I just said these things are going to fall off and not to let that happen. And then what do? I go and let them fall off. Alright. So this guy needs to go down here. There we are. Presumably these will lock it in place. They will. If I can. There. Okay, so now we got all these. So now when we spin this, there's even more gears spinning. So don't really know what that's all going to do yet. Presumably these will go back to the tires, spin the tires. We'll find out. I have a question for all you viewers out there. How's everybody watching this right now? Are you on your phones or iPads or computers? Anybody watching on an Apple TV? Just curious. Oh, glad you figured it out, Mom. Although maybe there's some people in the thread who are not happy to hear that you've been watching the whole time. Yeah, phone. Ooh, iPad. Surface Pro. Brian, get out of here. Your Surface Pro. Actually, though, that's probably a good question for Michael Klucher if he's still out there. I'm curious what he's watching on, because I know he has many devices and not just the ones he should have. things are happening. Where's the little fella that I need? There it is. There's Alex. Ryan, we're going to have a talk once this isolation is done. Okay. Turn this upside down. There we are. Because like we learned from Chris Bailey, we don't want to build it upside down and find out 60 steps later that that's what we've been doing. Because that would make us sad. Okay. Come on. There we go. Go. These ones are supposed to lock that into place. Oh, Henry's excellent. Another junior builder. There we go. And these two things are supposed to slide on right around here. Some more gear selectory sorts of things. Henry, we're building a car because Legos are awesome and cars are awesome, and so why not put both of those things together? It's twice the awesome. Okay, starting to get lots of moving gears. Lots going on down there. Thank you, Bodie. All right. Well, that piece didn't go where it was supposed to go. It was supposed to go down there. This one's supposed to go up here. Henry, your mom and dad are watching my stream right now, and I'm talking to them, and they're telling me what you're saying, so I'm able to talk to you through your mom and dad. Sometimes these ones, when you have to put them on and they go through like 6 different connectors at the same time, sometimes they're tough to put on. Oh! And like a big silly goose, put this one on before I put the pieces on. They're supposed to go underneath it. So we got to take that off and put those back on. There we go. Okay. Do some more spinning. You can see all the everything going on here. Henry Edward Posley. No, you're not in trouble. Is that a 2? That one goes up there. Oh. Whoops. Okay. So this one shows you in the inserts here, in the little explode view rectangles. It's extremely important to have things line up a very specific way. So on this side, this guy needs to be going down, whereas on this side over here, it needs to be going this way. How many bags? Yeah, I had spoken about this at the intro, and I'm not saying that to call you out. This one actually was 5 boxes, not any number of bags. And so the bags that I'm building with right now are ones that I created when I took it apart that are numbered with page numbers. Since they aren't numbered the way the bags are normally numbered in these larger sets. So I kind of make my own system for these sorts of things. But as such, I would say there's going to be I've got, oh shoot, maybe 20 bags. I'm sorry, Ali, what was your question? And while I'm waiting for you to type it out, here are the little selector things that I've been talking about. These guys are what will be responsible for, it's a little easier to see on this side, will be responsible for going into like the gear selector here, and then there'll be a rod going through, so when you choose one or the other, it will go click and engage up to drive, click, go back into reverse. So these ones are actually going to be on the back for these back here, which I think are, if I remember correctly, these are for engaging different gears, like first, second, third, fourth kind of a thing. I think we're building a 4-speed gearbox. And so these guys are going to go back here and switch between different gear ratios to make the theoretical wheels spin faster. Even though once this set's done, there's no actual functioning, there's no motor that creates its own power. When you push the car, it will spin the motor, or the wheels, and everything will spin, and then you'll be able to see the gearing spin. But it cannot, it's not one of the motorized sets where you can push a button and it will move under its own power. So, Mickey Mouse Legos, absolutely. 1 second, Bodie. Let me finish off this set here, and it's some of the Mickey Mouse Legos I have. Oh, that set's going to be hard to get. I've got, I have a Lego set of the Disney Castle. It's in there, and you'd have to move stuff. Thank you. But I also have this set right here. This set right here, which is Mickey and Minnie on a black and white steamboat. Yeah, I have a few Mickey and Minnie sets. sure everything is oriented the right way. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Allie. There are any number of bags, however many bags I created when I was taking it apart backwards. So that's the way. So when I take sets apart, we can get into that right now about my craziness. Instead of just throwing all of the pieces in one big pile, which would make it just hairy when you go to rebuild it, I actually open up the instructions and I effectively build it in reverse, putting the pieces back into numbered bags, numbered Ziploc bags, because for me, the fun of Legos is actually building the sets. And so I like to take them apart so that in the future I can go back and rebuild them again, to get more value out of them. So this set did not have a bunch of numbered bags like they normally do, and so I had to make my own numbered bags. Oh, Bodie. Not sure yet. That is an excellent question, and one that we will perhaps finally find the answer to once we're done sticking it out in our houses. Chris, if you don't take your sets apart in reverse order, I don't understand. Oops. See, I'm so distracted with all of your wonderful talking. I'm enjoying the conversation so much, I'm missing pieces here and there. Oh. Never again, Bo James. Never again. Not after the last time when I got taken advantage of. No, it was just a joke. No, Chris, you build your sets and then you leave them out on display permanently, and that's totally fine. That is not judge worthy. Yeah, Alex is my brother, so my phone used to autocorrect between their names, which was really weird. Okay. Done with we're done with bag 2. Getting a little bit more complicated of a car here. You can see more going on. Also, I've been talking about the engine like it's in the front of... This is a Porsche. I don't know why I kept saying engine up here. Duh. Obviously, it's not. This all makes so much sense now. This will be going to the engine. You can see that going through the drive selector. And then once the engine... when something's either in drive or reverse... the engine will spin all of the transmission, which will turn the wheels. So this all makes so much more sense now. So there you go. Boom. Back into neutral, engine spinning, no gears, Put it in drive, engine spinning, gear spin. Like a real car. Oh, Chris. Most difficult Lego set? These Technic ones are probably the trickiest ones. Yeah. Great question. I'm gonna say one of these Lego Technic car sets. Just because you really got to pay attention. A lot of the gears look the same, especially on the when you're looking at the instructions, and they're kind of small. Yeah. I'm gonna noodle on that and see if I can think of any other ones that were particularly tough. Actually, the one that Chris Bailey has been talking about, the Lego, the Batmobile, the tumbler specifically. That one is also pretty tough because the whole thing's black. Nope, that one's not coming out. I'm sorry. It's in the corner. Yeah, every single piece being black, it's tough following the instructions, and so that was a tricky one. Okay, sort some of these pieces a little bit. Here we go. Call that sorted enough. What am I missing? Oh, yeah. Lex answered that question for me, Allie. Yeah, there's no way this is getting done tonight. So... It's okay. Unless you want to. Okay. Actually, Chris, I've built that tumbler... I think I've built it probably 4 times now, because for me, the difficulty of the set actually makes it more fun. Oh! Whichever camera I should be pointing at. The worst set I've ever built is not a Lego set. It is a off-brand Lego set. It's a Mega Bloks set. It's up that way. Mega Bloks and Lego are not created equal. You may think, hey, they all fit together. They're this. Why? What's the big deal? No. For whatever reason, the plastic on Mega Bloks just feels gross. It's like the difference between an Oreo and a Hydrox cookie. It's not the same. And the instructions for Mega Bloks are terrible. I have 3 Mega Bloks sets that I've gotten because I felt like I needed to have them, and each time I felt like, no, that last one was terrible, but I wanted the set badly enough that I got it anyway, and each time it reminded me of how terrible Mega Bloks are. Okay, Bo James, we're not gonna entertain those sorts of negative comments on here. This is a positive thing we're doing.
Hey, hold on.
Oh, Paul, hey.
Give a shout out and say that's what we're doing tonight.
Yeah. That's judged by his icon, that looks like Paul of Seven Stars fame. We got a to-go meal from there earlier today. They are still open, doing takeout orders. Should any of you want any? What's that?
And deliveries now.
Oh, and deliveries at certain times. So, should anyone in the Bay Area want any sort of delicious Seven Stars food or drinks, you can get those to go. Yeah, I think I'll say bootleg minifigs are fine, but when you're building a big old set, where things need to fit together just so, and there's lots of instructions and things like that, just say no to Mega Blocks. Yeah, we actually got some to-go Jello shots from Seven Stars tonight as well. There were what was it, blueberry and watermelon?
Yeah.
Not together. There was a blueberry Jello shot and a watermelon Jello shot. So we got a couple of, so we had each flavor so that we could bring them home and taste test. And Paul, this is not to knock the blueberry ones, but the watermelon ones were so delicious. Paul, you're a busy business owner. I totally understand. Okay, why isn't this going in here? Come on. There we are. There we are. Similarly. There we go. Yellow little pieces next to me. All right, well, you can see these right here. These yellow pieces. They are some very big gears. They don't have as many teeth as the other gears because they don't need to turn as granularly as these do. Basically, what these allow to happen are you're in 4 different states. So instead of flowing freely, these ones kind of lock into specific spots. So those are little gears. Or it would work as a really great propeller on the back of a tiny little boat. Chris, I'm going to say you're allowed to say anything you want to explain to the children. Okay. Still building up the floor here. There's going to be our drive selector finally. We've finally gotten to that. And we're going to build our little shift knob here. Shift knob. There we are. It's going to go in there, and hopefully it'll have me put a piece through there soon. Otherwise that's going to fall out. But they must have a reason for it. So, we march onward. Heroically and valiantly and with great confidence. And try to figure out how this is supposed to line up. Because, as mentioned before, that can be a little tricky. There we are. Go. There we go. Very good. Okay. Building the kind of the center console area here, or what will be. And that's going to go through and hold the selector in place. So I can find the right axle. There it is. Good night, Bodie. For anyone looking for some more exciting and interesting adult content, the website Alex mentioned earlier, cbailey.tube, launched recently. And I encourage everybody to go check that out. Perhaps one of you people in the chat will type that out, make an easy link for people to go to, should they want to check it out. Really is one of my favorite new sites to go to. All right. Here we go. So this connector is interesting because, as you can see here, it's going to, this will twist. And don't know if, so it's got a little bit more play to it. So I don't know if I can do this with my hand in the way. So as it turns, it's going to be able to turn this, even though it's going to be going off at a weird angle. Also, because it's at a weird angle, the standard number of the distance number of pieces that something would normally fit in here, it's going to be different because it's going to be at a diagonal. So this is actually built to be able to be kind of a free, loose piece in here. So the piece on the other end will be the same way. So it will be able to extend without being in one exact location. So kind of interesting. Just another cool thing that Technic sets do. And I gotta get my water real quick. I don't want to bark at you. Okay. What's next? Let's keep going. Bodie left at just the wrong time. Now we're starting to use some more of these little yellow gear bits. There we go. Oh yeah. Make sure I stay in frame. There we go. Hey, hun, I know you put something in guild chat. Did you happen to put anything on Facebook?
No.
Would you like to put something on Facebook?
If you want me to.
I was planning on doing that earlier, and then it was taking me so long to set up that I didn't want to punish the people that were here waiting so thoughtfully by taking longer to get other people in here who had not been waiting. Well, now where did that other piece go that I need? There it is. We're about to see some more interesting Technic pieces. So let's see here. Once I get all my pieces sorted out, let me show you what we got here. So if you haven't done Technic sets before, these are probably some more pieces you haven't seen. These ones are a combination of an axle and the normal connector grabber bit on the other side. Some of these axle pieces actually have a cap on one side so that if it's going through, it'll stay. And then some of them are real weird. These ones are rubbery, so they've got some flex and give to them. And these can be used for, lots of different things. I've seen them used for all sorts of different things throughout Technic sets. Sometimes they're used to be kind of mushy gears. Sometimes they're used to be selectors. Sometimes they're used as kind of rubbery buffers between things to keep them from hitting together. It's something that whenever I see them in use, it's always fun to see just what they're being used for this time. So I don't remember what they're used for in this set specifically, or what their purpose is, but looks like we're going to find out real quick. So right now, perhaps it's some sort of engine mount kind of a thing. Oh, Allie, that's funny. I actually, funny you should mention that. Oh, I'll tell you why in a second. This right here, this is going to be the other end of that thing that I was kind of geeking out at over here. So you can see this side a little bit better. You can see that this will turn from any direction. It doesn't matter what angle you're at, and however far this is into the thing, it'll work. So I'm about to see that working. So Allie, before starting to stream tonight, actually this morning when I was going through my morning grooming ritual, I had debated cutting my fingernails because they're just at the point where they're a little bit too uncomfortably long. But it can be very frustrating and sometimes painful when you're doing some when you're building some Legos, just after cutting your fingernails, if you have to take them apart, sometimes you need just a little bit of nail to get pieces, and if you cut them just a little bit too short, then they're a little more sensitive, and then if you're using your fingertips a lot, then it can be a whole issue. So I specifically avoided cutting my fingernails this morning for the sake of the Lego building. See, Chris, this is why I keep telling you got to build Technic sets. They have all sorts of just really interesting things that they do, and part of the fun for me is when they do something clever that I have not seen before. It's just sort of a fun little surprise and delight. If I remember correctly, this is actually going to end up being the box for the paddle shifters. So we're getting close to some really cool stuff here. All right. I hope everybody out there is as excited about it as I am, which, if you're still here, chances are you probably still aren't anyway, but you might be. So you'll see soon.
There's 14 people.
14 people? Holy cow.
Yeah. The highest you've had so far is 17.
Really?
Uh-huh.
How exciting. I feel so internet famous. Thanks, guys, for showing up and spending your Friday evening with me. I know you could literally be anywhere on the internet, and you're here with me. That's nice. There we are. Okay. And I'm actually not kidding at all when I say that this next, for me, when I was going through the first spot in the build of this thing that really for me was like, oh my god, this is cool, was building the paddle shifters and actually having little working paddle shifters that you could click it on one side or click it on the other, and each time you click it you could see it snapping into the next gear. You'll see soon. We're getting there. Chris, that's the amazing thing. All you have to do is go onto their website, and LEGO has this remarkable, revolutionary way where you can actually convert money for LEGO sets. Probably do it in 5 clicks. Yeah, and putting this together, you'll see it's weird because it has all these pieces that are just going to kind of be flopping down the sides, and then all of a sudden you fold them all up together into this little box, and you're like, oh, that's I understand now. It was surprising the first time. All right. Okay, we're starting to do some weird, tricky stuff, so let's pay attention, everyone. This isn't the really cool stuff yet, it's just tricky stuff. Cool stuff is still coming. Don't go anywhere. Just be on the edge of your seats. Okay. This one. So I'm on step 146 right now. And so I need to hold all of those fellows together. Just needs to go down through the end bit and then cap it on the end. Okay, so we got a whole lot of floppy going on right here. It's going to get worse before it gets better. Come on. Get in there. There we are. There are these yellow geary bits that Bodie was a fan of. I'm not sure if Bo James is coming back or not, but I called Bodie my brephew because he was my brother nephew. Because when I was living with Bo James, they talked about me like I was their son and their brother at the same time. So we kind of had a quasi Alabama situation going on. So floppy, and let's put it all together here and make it less floppy. Right there. Ooh. Yeah, we're getting tricky. Here we go. There we go. You can see these things move in different directions and do different things. Ooh, it's almost exciting. Almost. So close. Go through there. Okay. All right. Now we gotta attach this to this guy somehow. There we are. Just a real dense set of machinery going on here. You can see that it does all sorts of crazy stuff. We're not done yet. Okay. We need some of these selectors. Oh, Chris, I'm so excited for you. And if you have a problem, then I don't even want to, I couldn't even begin to guess where I'm at. I just support your happiness. Okay. 3, 4. Get some of those. Oh yeah. Yeah. You're all in for a real treat here in a second. Okay, and these little guys that we just built are going to be the paddle shifters, which you'll be able to see working pretty soon. Oh. Oh. Would have been sooner if I hadn't put that one in the wrong spot. There we go. There we go. Well, that wasn't that big of a problem. How heavy is this set? You know what? I do not remember. It was a dense, heavy set, but I can't think of off the top. I couldn't tell you how many pounds it weighs, but it certainly is pounds. It weighs pounds. Okay, so you can start to see here. These paddle shifters are gonna do things. Ooh. Uh-oh. Whoops. If I don't break them first. Ah, that's what I do. Oh yeah, that Falcon was crazy heavy. Okay, so these will be the paddle shifters. I'll set that aside for a minute. Finish off, I believe, the top of it, and then when you put it all together, you'll actually be able to see the thing, the gears snapping from gear to gear. Hey, Bo James is back. Here we are. Bo James, while you were gone, I wasn't sure if you were coming back or not. I explained the origin story behind why I called Bodie my nephew, and about how much fun we used to have when I was living at your place. Won't let you put a link in the thing? Well, that's lame. Wonder if it'll let me.
It's a really long address.
Yeah, I was gonna try to put. Well, I can put links in. Apparently nobody else can. I bet I could figure out how to make a moderator or something, and then you could do it. But that will be a project for another night. Okay. Make sure if you do visit cbailey.tube to enjoy, hit the play button, because that is a big part of the experience. I actually tried when I was making cbailey.tube. Oh, I just outed myself. Yes, I am the mysterious creator behind cbailey.tube, even though it is an homage to Christopher Bailey. I was trying to create the site to automatically play the music without prompting, which everybody loves when they go to a web page and it just plays music and you don't know where it's coming from. But in the last year or so, web browser makers like Google and Apple with Chrome and Safari and Firefox and all those ones, they got wise to the tricks people pull, and they made it so that that's actually not technically possible to do anymore. There's certain technical hoops you have to jump through. So I figured best practices, you're not supposed to do it, so I'll give people the opportunity to make the choice whether they want to hear it or not. Okay, this fella now goes up on the top of the stack here. Carefully. Sort of. Okay. I believe this might be for the steering wheel. You can see it coming off to the side. That might do something. We'll find out. We're almost there. This little contraption is about to start working. Okay. There we go. There it is. Incidentally, this is the first Lego set I've built in the Lego studio itself. So this is a groundbreaking night for multiple reasons. Okay, where do you go? You go right there. This guy goes here. Come on. Go. Come on. There it is. Okay. And probably gonna put one of these on, yep, on the other side. Should be just as hard. There we go. Alrighty. Step number 170 for the steering wheel. I already put the little, you have a Porsche emblem there that I already, little gift to myself, I've already put the sticker on. So now you have a steering wheel, which will be attached and turn the wheels. And we're just a few steps away from these things actually operating. So I will try to hurry up since that's one of the most exciting parts of this build in my opinion. Oops. There we go. There we go. Alright. We got some little rubber bands, which I never had braces or a retainer or anything, but I think these look like the little rubber bands that one of those things had. I have used tweezers to apply stickers, Chris. It's sometimes yes, sometimes no. Okay, so before I attach this down to the car, you can see the rubber bands actually lock it into place. And if you look at which one of these? think something else needs to line up first. Because when you click it, things fall into place. Oh no. Unless, of course, this yellow piece right here was supposed to be right there, and I made a huge mistake. Let's go back. Oh, man. Oh, this is going to be so disappointing if I actually mess that up. I did. I messed up this bottom piece, which is why the clicking is not clicking. Let's see if I can be very, very clever in getting this piece where it needs to go. Shoot. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Well, gonna have to take a little bit of a part here. I can get it to where it needs to go, but in doing so, it's pushing another piece where it's not supposed to go. So perhaps I can nope. Okay. Problem is I can't even see where that one's supposed to go. Oh man, I almost had it saved. It's right underneath that guy. If I can somehow get that one down. Nope. It's just not enough clearance. So we don't have to take it all apart, but we do need to take a few of these pieces off. Just a few. Oh, in fact, if we take that out. Thank you, Chris. That's very thoughtful. Still no. Man, I really did a poor job here. Sorry, viewers. Well, we're going to go back a few more steps. Going to take a few more pieces off. Haha. There we go. All right. go. Yeah. That'll do it. Okay. Now, just got to make sure they're all lined up correctly. Once again, like that. There we go. All right, we're back in business. Just got to remember where we took all those pieces off and put them back together. It should be easy, right? There we go. There's that one. And this guy goes back on the front. Aha! Oh yeah. Now we're talking. All right. Saved it. This is not the excitement that I was talking about earlier, but how exciting it is. Never a dull moment here at CaseyBuilds. Okay. Put those back on. These guys. All right. And we need to look at the bottom bit again, just to make sure. Yeah. Front ribber. There we are. There we are. Nice and tight on those. This comes out through here, and this fella through here, and this through here. Boy, I'm really excited I didn't have to take that all apart. That would have been annoying, and we might have just called the stream for the moment, so I didn't have to torture you all with that boring stuff. But I think we salvaged it, and hopefully we won't have extra parts once we get out of here. But now, what you can see... Oh yeah, there we go. So, I don't know how I'm going to be able to angle this the right way for the camera, but if you look at this guy right down here, if you look at the way that it's angled, when you pull a paddle shifter, it actually twists. It twists the axle, and that will be going somewhere else, which will be changing the gear selectors in here. So what that means is you'll have these guys, and you can pull on them to actually change the gear like you would in the car. You'd have a paddle shifter. And once you actually put this all in place, there's still a few pieces in here that aren't being held perfectly in place the way they need to be. But once they are, this works a lot more reliably, where you click it and it actually goes up a gear or down a gear. AV Productions, no, we are not going until 4 a.m. Okay, 173, big step. This guy goes on to here. And how do we attach everything? fella goes right into there. Oops. Come on. See, this part's hard because, as I mentioned before, the axle will slide. It's free floating in here. So even though it's attached in this step, it's not actually attached. So it's free to fall back out, which we don't want it to do. There we are. Ugh. So that'll lock into place like so. Click. And just like that, voila, we have pedal shifters. And if you look at these gears right here, because that's all going through, if I, it's not, it needs to be a little bit more secure before I do it. When you pull on one of these, you can see it starting to twist those gears. It will actually go into different gears. There we go. So, first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear. And a working steering column, which is not really any kind of a new surprising invention for LEGO sets. They've had working steering columns for a long time. So, alright, we keep going here. Is that? Oh, Chris had a drink. I completely didn't even think about having a little sip of something myself. I should have had a bottle of something sitting here. We did have Jello shots earlier. Good point. Thanks to the Paul, or whatever his screen name was. Okay. We have the front of the passenger side over here. There we go. Actually, not really passenger side, center console. There's your nav, whatever. Just has the Porsche logo on it, or not really the Porsche logo, but something. Lego and Scotch. Okay. There we go. Is it Henry's bedtime right now? Yeah, the Paul. There we go. Is it Henry's bedtime right now? Uh-oh. Remember what I said about extra pieces? I have extra pieces. I don't remember seeing those on any steps, but we're going to just do a quick backtrack here. Make sure I didn't miss anything. It's entirely possible that when I was taking this set apart before, I put something in the wrong bag. Oh, no. Nope. That's on me. So remember what I was saying about how this wasn't holding together too well? Well, these needed to be right in here. I'm hoping I might be able to just delicately get it in there without taking this whole stupid thing apart. Oh, I heard clicking. That's not a good sound. Oh no. Oh, failure. Just failure. Or not. Nope. Sorry. I thought it was failure. In fact, that's what excellence looks like. Oh. Don't try this at home. Wow. Wow. Okay. I knew it'd be fine. There we are. Yeah. I'm sure that won't come back to bite me in the ass later on. All right. Who's ready for the next step? I am. All right. I'm glad you guys stuck with me on that one. I don't usually get worried when I'm building Legos, but I was a little worried. Ooh, here we go. We've got, I don't really know what you'd call these for Legos. This is where we're gonna attach the wheels. Oops. Oh, I moved the camera. Shucks. Let's see here. That's probably fine. That's probably fine. We're playing fast and loose here. There we go. I wanted to get words. I was trying to finish off the first box, which would just be the base of it. I'm guessing how long have we gone? Maybe another half an hour. Hoping another half an hour. Oh, you're really supposed to put them together in order, though. Come on. Jeez. How many of these sets have you seen me build over the years? Put them together in the wrong order. Okay. Hubs and carriers. We have hubs and carriers, if we're looking for a word for those. Thank you, Dad. Okay. Allie, I'll try to pick up the pace here. So we can finish off the platform and then call it a night. If I could find the other one of these, that'd be great. There it is. There we go. Boom. Nope. Yep. Here we are. Like I said, one of the great things about this set is that you build it in the same order that they would be building an actual Porsche. And so I'm sure that me putting this together right now, they have a lot of the same sorts of comments as they're building their pristine automobiles. It's like, oh, we'll what's this supposed to do? What's this piece doing over here? Oh, we'll put it somewhere. We'll find a spot for it. Sounds just like the Germans. Allie, yes, exactly. This set is going to end up with more functional actual parts similar to a car than you would expect. Okay. Someone was mentioning lighting earlier. I don't know if it was complimentary or not.
Chris was just asking what kind.
Ah, yeah, we have. This is just really nice can lighting. Artificial sun can lighting. So, hopefully you're able to see me okay. If this turns into something I do a little bit more regularly, who knows if it will be. Thank you, Chris. If you guys think the lighting is insufficient, let me know, and I'll see what I can do about that. Let's see here, that's a 11. There's a 9er right there. See, Bo James, if had I not been, we would have been in a world of hurt, but I was able to salvage the situation, so I'm actually gonna call that a win for me. I almost always take apart every piece when I take sets apart. There are a few pieces that I leave together. I'm bringing this up now because I have a few pieces that are still together. This is one. These are normally apart, and since the step is you always just put this on then put them together, there's no reason to take it apart, and this is a very strong locking piece. This one is similar in that there's no reason, like it's always the same step to put these together. I've actually had to order replacements of these before when taking things out of them because the plastic is broken. And the plastic doesn't break very often, but this is one of the ones that it's happened, I can't even say regularly. It's happened to me more than once, and so now I just leave them in there because it doesn't make any kind of a difference to the build. Just means I got to make sure they're going the right way. There we go. Oh, sweetheart. I'm not asking you to do this or to even do it now or at all, but if by chance you go downstairs,
If you need more water.
I wouldn't mind having something from the fridge that's a little more exciting than water and colorful.
I see.
But don't feel like you have to go now.
You have a second request for another set.
Well, Well, that means I'd be starting building Millennium Falcon at like 5 o'clock in the morning. But would Bodhi most like to see the Millennium Falcon next? Or the Death Star? Yeah, I have a... Oh, no. Oh, that piece is so gone.
Yeah.
I dropped it.
Where'd it go?
Somewhere down there.
Here.
Woo!
Somewhere down where?
It was one of these. And it's yonder. This is a Seagram's Escapes. I call it my adult Capri Sun. It's very much what I would picture a cheerleader in high school drinking. It's not a very complicated flavor palette. It doesn't really challenge you. It's just yummy.
Off in the lead forever.
Okay. Brian, you'll actually be happy to know that stick with me here. Got a little bit of a story. It's not even really a big story. I was just recently organizing my filing cabinet. I just recently got a filing cabinet instead of having a drawer that all of my like tax forms and things go into. So it's in a proper filing cabinet now. And everything in the filing cabinet is organized by like cars and houses and all those sorts of things. The only thing that's in there that isn't related to like, well, cars, houses, taxes. The only thing with somebody's name on it is the section labeled Brian Winery or Winery Brian. Don't remember the order. And it's where I now collect all of the things that I get from Harlan Estates or Bond or whichever it is that sends me things. Because I enjoy getting those in the mail, and they're so nice that I feel like I shouldn't throw them away. This is also interesting. Springs in LEGO sets are not unusual, especially in Technic sets. These ones are, I can't remember when we were building this with my when I was building this with my dad. They're like 2-stage springs or something, like variable rate because of the way they are. Something. Anyway, lots of engineering went into this set, which I appreciate. Okay. There we go. See, and that's I'm still reeling from those pieces that I missed. And the great shame I feel for that. But had I not put this back in such a way, by the bag like I do, I would have gotten to the end of the first box and had 4 extra pieces and had no idea where they were supposed to go. So I sort of saved myself. Thank you, Allie. Yes, that. I wish there was a way that I could actually see who's signed in. Although I suppose I don't know YouTube well enough to know if you can even view this without signing in. I assume you can.
I can't see who's in, other than the people chatting.
Oh, you can. Okay. It would be nice if I could look up and see people's names.
Twitch has over.
Yeah, Twitch. Twitch is nice like that. Okay. So we have our springs here. It's going to go that way. Where'd the rest of it go? Here we go. Let's attach it all together. And springs like this. And goes like so. Like that. Like this. There we go. So we're going to have those springs doing springy things in there. That will actually attach to something more properly. Okay, where are we? We need 4 of those. There we go. Yep. There we go. Okay. Let's lock them all into place. Yeah, another thing that's interesting with Lego sets. After building tons and tons of these Technic sets and cars of different scale, the way they handle the suspension and the steering and all that, like, it's normal for them to have that, but it's always interesting seeing how different sets approach implementing them. And so that's one of the fun things for me when I'm building a new car set, is seeing how they do that. Like this one, we have right down here, we're gonna have locking the spring into place. I'll give you a better close-up of this as soon as I finish this guy off right here. So you can see the suspension is actually independent suspension on each of the tires, and the front tires will not. It's a rear wheel car, so this is obviously going to be for the front. Um, so the front tires will turn. These will be attached for the turning. The rear tires will also have suspension with some form of travel on it. But those ones will obviously have to be put together in some different kind of a way, because you're going to need to have an axle going through there. So, yay, suspension. More car stuff. All right. And just to make sure that you didn't do anything wickedly wrong, step 199 here, make sure that you've actually lined everything up correctly. And I'm looking at it from this point of view. I'm double checking. Everything lines up. So that's good. Let's grab, what's it, this gray one. Here's a fun little Lego factoid too when you're building sets. One of the things that I did not realize for the longest time, and it was something that my brother discovered one time when we were both building. I had brought home over a Christmas break, and I was visiting up there. I brought home an X-Wing and a TIE Fighter, and I said, pick which one you want to build and I'll build the other one. So we were building them together, and he noticed that the black pieces in the instruction manual have white outlines. Every other piece has black outlines, and it's a really easy way to tell the difference between a dark gray piece and a black piece, because black pieces have white outlines. And that is something that has become very helpful when building. So thank you, Alex, for teaching me something I didn't know about Legos. We're gonna put these pins here for the steering. Yeah. All right. There we go. Yeah, Chris, that could be real tricky. By the way, Bo James, you mentioned the Casey Special earlier. We've graduated from the Casey Special to the Heaney Special, because that's really what it was. We actually call it the Fruit Ninja at home now. Since one time when we were drinking them, well, that's a different one. One time when we were drinking them at home, Alex got out his sword, and we started tossing lemons in the air, and he was slicing them in the air with his sword, because that seemed like a great idea when drinking. Like the game Fruit Ninja, that is now how we refer to them. Anyway, Lex and I have been making our way through our Siesta Key rum, drinking those, and I think we've exhausted our spiced rum and are now using their gold rum, which has a different hypothetical application, but it's close enough that we can still use that for making them. But it'll be real nice once we can go out and get some more of the right stuff. I know. Yeah, that's a rum juice drink. Yes, Chris. Allie may remember it most clearly as what was inside of Brian when we came home from his bachelor party. Okay, so we're getting there. So steering will go into that. Turns the wheel. That'll handle the steering for the car. What are we all laughing at? Chris, I don't know where New Kids on the Block came from, and I'm not complaining. I don't know where that came from.
The 80s. No, the 90s.
Okay. Haha, see, this is a combination of pieces that I missed over there before. Not going to forget this time. Keep all that nice and tight together there. Don't want any gears falling loose. There we go. Make a little more room for ourselves here. There we go. 1, 2, whoops. 3, 4. There we go. You can see here, these are going to be the semi-realistic Porsche brakes calipers. What are the, I'm gonna guess that's supposed to be black rubber looking things. Black rubber looking things. From your point of view over there, hun, do you know what Allie might be talking about? Black rubber.
I think she means the round gears, maybe? Black rubber things.
Black rubber things. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a few seconds to catch up so she can ask and clarify perhaps while I keep working on this step. Allie, I'd love to answer your question if I understood it. If you or the wine could clarify, I would be happy to answer.
She means one looks like a dick. You hold it up.
These guys right here. Those little fellas. Those are just gears. Yeah, those are gears. So, on this side, there'll be some kind of axle coming through, turning, and then those gears are just responsible for steering, turning. I'm afraid that's the best answer I think I can give without... Okay, good. Answer the question. Woohoo! Okay. Almost done with our calipers here. Sadly, these the brakes in this car are only cosmetic. It would have been really neat. really neat if they were more functional. But they just sit there doing nothing. You can see them behind the wheels. Okay. And because we know the way that they're supposed to face, and these ones already have stickers on them, a little present to myself. Just make sure we put them on the correct side. Again, every LEGO Technic set is different, and all the car things are different. So, but now when this guy turns, you'll see the calipers actually will be going with it. So kind of a neat little, just a little detail. All right, so now we gotta attach it, which means right up here. Oop. There we go. Whoops. There we go. Sure I didn't pull any of these pieces out. There we go. Okay. Keep working here. Earlier today, one of Alexa's and my friends sent a link that was really interesting. It was a REM cycle calculator that does a work back schedule, and you put in the time that you need to wake up, and it will tell you the times that you should go to bed. So it's like if you plan to wake up at, I don't know, 6:45, it will tell you, okay, well, you should go to bed at either 9:45, 10:15, and it tells you so that you don't need to worry about waking up in the middle of a REM cycle, and you have the most restful sleep. And I thought that was really neat. Okay. Where's this little guy go? Right in there. Okay, we're getting to the point here. This is going to have to go through, and we have another one of these that's going to attach so that we can have a angled joint for the steering column, or for the steering. Getting toward the end of this bag here. So this is tricky again. So this piece has to go here. And you have to have this little tan piece on the inside of it. So you kind of have to do two things at once. Here we go. But you can see it's getting close. Turning the steering wheel now. Turning the steering wheel will turn this. and that's going to go down to this guy, which will be responsible for turning the wheels. And there's the connector. There we go. Haha. So now, working steering wheel. Isn't that fun? But because I am the type of person that I am, I don't like that the steering wheel is not where it's supposed to be. So we're going to fix that. Little trick here, we're going to take this gear off, which attaches everything together. We're going to have our wheels straight. We'll straighten out our steering wheel. There we go. And now we have a level steering wheel for when our wheels are straight. Ta-da! That's not in the instructions, but it's a little extra something that I like to do. Okay. And like I said, we're starting to get to the end of this bag. I'm curious, and I'm just going to poll the audience here. Anybody that's actually out there active and listening. I fully don't expect people to be with me through the whole thing. This is going to be a long build, and I appreciate you guys being here with the first part. Would people like me to finish off the first box tonight? I know Allie wants to go to bed. I've got 2 more bags, so I thought it was going to take me another half an hour, but it might take me another half an hour. Would people prefer me to be wrapping it up here, or would you like me to keep going? I know Allie's vote is bed. Oh. Yeah, okay. Allie says bed. Chris is crashing soon. Okay. Well, okay, so it seems like if I'm reading the room right, I should be done after this bag. Save the rest of the box for, I'm going to say tomorrow. Oops. Alright. Okay, we're on the home stretch for those who want to go to bed. So I think tomorrow... Hey, hon, do we have any plans tomorrow?
We gotta go to the grocery store, but other than that, I don't think so.
Okay. That was mostly a joke.
Smart ass.
Yeah. I think probably tomorrow, I'm going to say early afternoon, like, going to have some lunch, and then probably get to building again. So, anybody that's interested in continuing this journey, I'm going to say tentatively I'll aim for a 1 o'clock. That seems fine. Let's say 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock for more building. This is the way. Something else cool on this set is every single one of them that they shipped came with a serial number and kind of a license platey serial numbery kind of thing. So they're all collector numbered, or I don't know what you would how you'd call that, but yeah, whatever. Thank you, Paul. Long haul will continue tomorrow at 1 o'clock. You guys are making me think that I need to come up with a catchy little theme song. Oh, Sarah! Holy cow! Thanks for joining the stream here. You're catching the tail end of it. We've been working on building a 911 GT3 RS. At this point, we have a quasi-functional shift lever, working steering wheel. There's paddle shifters for doing gear shifting, and a whole lot of gears back here. So we've been having a lot of fun. I think taking down the plant house is something that should have happened a long time ago, so that's great. Sarah, I think you might win for furthest away viewer. We had a San Diegan here earlier, but I'm pretty sure Idaho is further than that. So this is the glove compartment area here, or will be. And let's see how it attaches down here. Like that. Paul, sure, I'll post, but my plan is to start at 1 o'clock. That's my plan. if it helps you be able to plan your day at all. So yeah, we have a glove compartment. So that's gonna be like that, and you'll be able to pull it down and see the number of this one. And then last but not least, we have this piece here, which goes across the top. There we go. Oh, and Sarah also, for a while there, aside from obviously my family excluded, Brian was probably the winner for the person who I've known the longest here, but 2nd grade is further than 6th grade, so you're the winner for that too. Congratulations. All right, so here we are. You can see that it's coming together. There's still a few more bags in this box. Yeah. 2 to go. Boom, boom. 2 more bags. And then once we finish off those, the platform will be done. We have the working steering. Put it in a drive. All the gears turn. And if you change the paddle shifter, the gears will turn faster or slower. There we go. Back into neutral. Cool. Well, that seems like enough for now. Thank you all for joining me, and I hope you're enjoying the process. Oh, wow, 3 hours almost on the dot. That feels pretty good.